Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you've ever found yourself staring at your solar charge controller on a really gloomy afternoon, just watching the numbers totally crawl, and wondering why your system is suddenly struggling so much, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down a super common, yet surprisingly misunderstood frustration, that dramatic drop in battery charging performance when the weather turns bad. We're going to look at the hard numbers, the actual underlying science, and the real-world impact of cloudy conditions on your off-grid power setup. It's time to separate the myths from reality and figure out exactly what happens when the sun disappears.
Okay, let's dive right into this. This is the central mystery that plagues honestly so many off-grid setups. You know the feeling. Your panels are perfectly angled, your wiring is absolutely flawless, yet under a gray sky, your 12-volt battery seems to take an absolute eternity to charge. It's literally like watching paint dry. Now, it's super easy to panic here, right? You might think something is completely broken. Maybe you start double-checking every single connection on your battery monitor. But the truth is, your system is probably functioning exactly as it should under the circumstances. The real issue is a fundamental misunderstanding of how solar panels actually behave when they aren't bathed in direct, perfect sunlight.
And you know, that confusion usually starts with how we look at manufacturer ratings. We go out, we buy a 400-watt panel, and we expect our sunny day reality, basically a continuous fire hose of power. The expectation is that it's just going to pump out that rated maximum all the time. But the cloudy day reality is vastly different. The myth is that a panel will just always output its rated wattage, or maybe that clouds just shave off a tiny fixed percentage. No way. The reality is that nature doesn't give us a fixed output. Cloud cover drastically reduces the actual charging power reaching your battery. Less sunlight hitting those cells directly translates to significantly less available energy. It's just that simple. So really grasp the impact here. Let's ground this in some real numbers. Take a standard 12-volt 200 amp hour battery. That essentially gives you a 2,400 watt-hour energy tank to fill up. That number is the absolute foundation of our entire system. Now, under bright, ideal sunshine, a properly sized solar array can top that tank off relatively quickly. But as we're about to see, the clouds completely change the game on how fast we can actually pour energy into that 2,400 watt-hour tank. Now, what's really interesting about this is the scientific surprise hiding right there in your system's data. You might glance at your solar panels on a cloudy day, see a fairly normal voltage reading, and just assume you're perfectly fine. But pay attention to the stark difference here. While voltage stays relatively stable under cloud cover, it decreases, but not dramatically, the actual current absolutely drops off a cliff. And since your total charging power is just voltage multiplied by current, that massive drop in current means your total charging power crashes. That's exactly why your panel might show a near normal voltage, but is actually producing a tiny, tiny fraction of its normal charging power. So you can see how this compounding effect plays out across different real-world conditions. Clouds don't just magically shave a flat percentage off your power. Under bright sunshine, of course, you get peak irradiance and maximum current for the fastest possible battery charging. But the second you drop down to even light cloud cover, your current is immediately handicapped by that moderate irradiance. And under heavy overcast, the irradiance is incredibly low, meaning your current is practically at rock bottom, resulting in painfully slow charging. It varies dramatically based on the specific density and the exact type of overcast you're dealing with on any given day. And then, of course, there's the wild card, passing clouds. This is exactly where your MPPT, that's maximum power point tracking, charge controller really earns its keep. As shadows constantly shift overhead, your solar output rapidly spikes and crashes. It's all over the place. The MPPT acts like this hyperactive brain, continuously hunting and adjusting its optimal operating point second by second. It is a highly dynamic piece of tech, fighting tooth and nail to squeeze every absolute possible drop of charging current out of those fluctuating conditions. So the big question, how long will you actually be waiting in the dark? Estimating your real-world charging time really just boils down to a super straightforward 3-step formula. Step 1, find your total battery energy in watt-hours. Step 2, measure your actual cloudy weather solar power coming in watts. And Step 3, just divide that battery energy by the charging power. That gives you your estimated charging time in hours. It's a very simple calculation, but it is absolutely critical for managing your practical energy expectations out there. Let's actually run the math on our setup to see what this looks like. We take our 2,400 watt-hour battery, and let's say a heavy overcast sky crushes our solar array's output down to a measly 150 watts. Well, 2,400 divided by 150 leaves us with a pretty stark reality: 16 hours. 16 solid hours of continuous charging just to fill up the tank. And frankly, guys, that's just raw math. Real systems require even more time because charging is literally never 100% efficient. Plus, as the battery gets closer to a full charge, the current naturally tapers off. So in reality, you are looking at a multi-day waiting game if those clouds decide to stick around.
And this brings us to a very serious consideration. What happens when your charging time stretches out over several days? If your battery consumes more energy overnight than those solar panels can replace during the day, your state of charge just gradually declines. Your runtime shrinks, and eventually, the whole system suffers an energy deficit. This puts your critical loads at serious risk. We're talking about the refrigerators keeping your food safe, vital communication equipment, security systems, maybe even medical devices. If your system was sized solely around perfect, sunny day production, a multi-day weather event can literally lead to a total load failure.
So, how do we actually fix this? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Plan for the clouds. A massive, super common mistake in off-grid design is just throwing more batteries at the problem. But think about it. If you have a massive battery bank and only a tiny trickle of cloudy solar power, you've really just built yourself a larger, empty tank. Experienced system designers plan for worst-case weather scenarios by adding more solar panel capacity rather than just adding batteries. Having more generation means that even when the clouds cut your output down to a fraction of its rating, that fraction is still physically large enough to keep your critical systems running. And it ensures a much faster recovery whenever the sun finally peeks through. I need to pause right here for a really definitive safety warning. When faced with these brutally slow charging times, some users get frustrated. They try to speed up the process by tweaking their charge controller settings way beyond safe limits, or even worse, bypassing critical protection devices altogether. Please never, ever bypass fuses, circuit breakers, or battery protection systems. These devices exist for one reason strictly: to prevent excessive current and fault conditions. Attempting to force a faster charge by circumventing them can lead to severe overheating, catastrophic wiring damage, and extreme fire hazards. It is literally never worth the risk. Always stick to the manufacturer's specifications.
Which leaves us with this final, critical question that you really need to ask yourself. Is your solar system actually sized for the clouds? Look, cloudy weather doesn't stop solar charging. It just slows it down based on real-world physics. Understanding the relationship between irradiance, voltage, current, and battery capacity allows you to build a system that is predictable and totally dependable no matter what the sky looks like. So take a hard look at your own calculations today. Are you relying on laboratory ratings, or are you truly prepared for reality? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this empowers you to look at your power setup in a whole new light.